In 1995, Single Track made Twisted Metal, which brought the car combat genre to the mainstream. While there were technically Destruction Derby games that came out before 1995, like Destruction Derby 1 and Destruction Derby 2, Twisted Metal redefined the genre into what it is today. While I never really played Twisted Metal 1 or Twisted Metal 2, it is really hard to deny that Single Track made a few really killer games during their time. But you do know what happens when a game series becomes popular. Game devs will try to replicate some of the success that the original series saw with their own version of the formula, with a lot of these Twisted Metal clones either being not that enticing or being downright awful. There was Grudge Warriors, which was published by Take-Two, who would later go on to own 2K and Rockstar, but Grudge Warriors was a bit mediocre and tedious, and there was Critical Depth, which was also made by Single Track, which is a bit fun to play, but it is pretty damn brutal to beat. And there was also Road Trip Vacation 2012, which was alright, nothing really that special. But Cell Damage, however, I think is the only quote-unquote Twisted Metal clone that is really fun and is a pretty solid game. Cell Damage was made by Pseudo and published by Electronic Arts in 2001 for the Xbox and 2002 for the GameCube and PS2. However, the PS2 version was a European exclusive. Cell Damage is basically Twisted Metal, but way more crazy. Cell Damage has a cel-shaded art style, which would be in games like 13 and The Legend of Zelda The Wind Waker, and the art style really fits the game quite well, and it is reminiscent of the craziness you saw in old cartoons from back in the day. And let me tell you, the craziness in Cell Damage is no joke. You can get your car destroyed in one hit by a variety of different and equally as wacky weapons. However, you don't have a life system per se and just respawn a few seconds later. You also have a multitude of modes which you can choose from, including Smack Attack, which is pretty standard. First person to get the most points wins. Gate Relay, which is just a race throughout the level. And Flag Relay, which is absolutely brutal. Basically, you need to get 4 flags and get to the goal, which, by the way, the goal is constantly moving, without dying, which is easier said than done. The physics of the game are pretty good. You almost feel the weight of each attack, and the combat is really good and is sometimes even better than the combat you find in Twisted Metal. Cell Damaged is more than just a Twisted Metal knockoff. It is a Twisted Metal knockoff that is fun and is great to play. And I would definitely recommend it if you're into the car combat genre. So far, I give Cell Damaged a 7 out of 10. It is definitely a fun experience, but it does have a few minor things holding it back, like how Flag Relay is brutal. Now, I've heard that there was a sequel planned, but the sequel was cancelled because of the poor sales of the first game, which kind of sucks because, I really want to see how far that Pseudo Interactive would take this new IP. But I do hope that one day a game studio can revive Cell Damaged and pretty much bring the car combat genre to a new generation, since by the time of this recording, we haven't seen a Twisted Metal game in over 10 years. So that's gonna be it for my review. If you enjoyed, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I'm Noah Field Gaming. See ya.